There was an image where somebody said these are the direct counters to like heroes and why you shouldn't play these heroes. And then once he saw that, he's like, apparently that was on TikTok, and then that just turned into like that whole thing. And if I recall correctly during that, the image said that like it had like a counters chart, and like the chart said that like Junkrat counters Diva. Like that was what it said. Like if you are playing Diva, you can't play against Junkrat. If they have a Diva, go Junkrat. And I was just like,
Triple kill.
I'm sorry, but what?
Tactic that. Inevitable.
Excuse me?
We will shield you for now.
That's what it was. They said that if you go Junkrat, you will counter Diva. And if you're on Diva, you have to switch off because they have a Junkrat. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I can't tell if what? First of all, if they have a Junkrat and I'm playing tank, there is probably one hero I will probably go against Junkrat, and that's probably Diva. Straight up. Diva is good against Junkrat for multiple reasons, but why against Junkrat? Like the hitbox is pretty good for like your rockets and your left click. 2, you're one of the few heroes that can actually prevent the damage that Junkrat is doing, even if you're not consistently eating the damage. So I was very confused as to how Junkrat became the counter to Diva. It was very confusing, I'll tell you that much. Even though it's not, right? Like Diva's good against Junkrat. If Junkrat goes, oh, they have a Diva, well, that's gonna be easy. You don't hear that too often. You said Orisa against Junkrat all the way? I mean, Orisa's not that bad against Junkrat now because you need damage. I would still say Diva's probably a little bit better, but like, maybe not. Orisa has decent survivability and long-range damage. Well, no, I was just confusing because I was like, oh, damn. I think that's how that all started with like Flat starting to watch like some of the videos and stuff, because it turned into like, after seeing that chart that basically was like a counter to like a lot of heroes, but most of the counters were like not actually counters. I think he went and looked at all that stuff. Did people have been saying Junkrat is OP lately? I'm gonna be real with you. You said as long as Pharah exists against that comp, I'm gonna be real with you. Junkrat's pretty damn good right now. Junkrat is pretty damn good. Even like when there comes to like counters to Junkrat just does a lot of damage now. And it almost feels like, I don't know what the range is on the mine, but let me tell you, it feels like I'm constantly able to hit those mines. Like Junkrat is good. OP, I mean, I think that can be very much rank dependent, but I mean, Junkrat's pretty good. Let me give you an idea in this though. Like sometimes we'll have the discussion about this, and it'll be like, well, you can just go Pharah against Junkrat, and that's that. That's under the assumption that the person on like someone on your team can go Pharah and actually stay in the air for more than 3 seconds, right? You know what I mean? Because there's some really good Pharahs, and don't get me wrong, you have a really good Pharah and there's a Junkrat, there's a good chance that Pharah is going to play pretty well against that Junkrat, right? But there's going to be games where you'll be like, hey, can we go Pharah to counter that Junkrat? And the Junkrat and the other team will have more mobility than the Pharah on your team. That just happens sometimes, and there's nothing you can do about it at that point. So Junkrat is a very strong hero, and yes, there is counters to the hero, but like, it's for examples, people will be like, hey, you know, everybody in, you know, GM Top 500 is talking about Sojourn being super strong. Well, you know what? Just go Widow. Just play Widow. That's it. Just go Widow, and Widow can one-shot Sojourn. That's it. Just gotta go Widow. Two things there. One, there isn't as many good Widows or people who will be able to consistently hit Sojourn because of that hitbox. 2, Sojourn's just good, right? Sojourn's just good. So yeah, I mean, I agree in the sense that like Pharah is good against Junkrat. That I don't disagree with. If there was a counters chart, you would see Pharah against Junkrat as a good counter. It's more along the lines, can you do that? So, yep.